Welcome to Leadership DNA, a podcast for those who aspire to be a better leader. Alongside Arturo Gomez, I'm Rob Cressy. Today's topic, ways to promote a positive company culture. Arturo, culture is the heartbeat of a company, and it's amazing how it can make or break success. Let's dive into why culture is such a pivotal piece to the organization and leadership.
I mean, for me, it's the heartbeat, it's the soul, it's the direction, it's the vision, it's the ability for a company to move forward successfully, to get through hard times, good times. The values in the company culture is to me is probably the most critical piece of any organization.
With that, I'm curious to hear from you from a values perspective. How do you set your values or your core values for your organization, knowing the impact that they have on the culture?
So, I mean, for all the brands that, over time that we've had, opportunities to create, I think it really a very introspective look from the leaders of the organization in terms of who we want to be and what we want to be to our staff, to our employees, to our clients. And it starts there, and it's not really it hasn't always been an easy process, but I feel like it's gotten a little bit easier as I've gotten a little older because of my organizations or the companies that I'm involved with have I think a senior group of individuals that have gone through this process before and have taken the time to really try to understand why these values are important and what those values should be for the organization. And I think so. To me, it really starts there. It's having the values, having a vision, and where is the company going? What is the mantra? What is the mission statement of the company? I think these things are really important. I think sometimes actually companies get lost because they want to create a statement that to them in their mind is so important, and it's 3 paragraphs long or whatever. No one's ever going to remember that. Is there a way to simply create something that's digestible for people so that they actually can live it and understand what the company's about? But it sets the tempo, it sets the cadence, and that's another reason why I have a tremendous value for HR.
Arturo, one of the things about positive company culture that I think is very relevant in today's day and age is actually the inverse, and leaders auditing where they are in their company culture, because there are results-driven organizations which are very oftentimes sterile, who do not invest in their company culture, where you can see a lot of the finance industry. Maybe this is a great example, that some of these where it is not as sexy, not as creative, and the culture may be dominated by those at the top, whereas you see some other companies with close-knit leaders or founders who think of their teammates as family or promote that sort of environment. What suggestions do you have for someone to audit where they are in their company culture? Because I feel that those who have a negative company culture, very rarely is there an auditing at the top of the leaders with a recognition of what their culture is. Whereas those who have a positive culture, and you and I both know what those organizations look like, you can feel it and see it in the faces and the energy of everybody who works there.
Yeah. I mean, I think, listen, as somebody who actually has the capacity to be a change agent and to move, to create culture and to change culture, I think it's if you're connected to your people, I think it's evident. I mean, I think I think doing a deeper analysis in terms of where morale is and how to improve things, I think 100%. I think that those are valuable exercises that should be done. I think if you can't feel your organization or see your organization in a positive way, or that things are overwhelmingly or in heading in the direction of positivity, I think that you got a problem. I think you got a real problem. And so if you're the person that's responsible for that, then then there's some things and some coaching and some other thought processes that maybe you need to begin to try to understand or to implement. I would say though that I've seen organizations that didn't intend to be negative or pessimistic or deprive the organization of positivity, but that the lack of clarity in terms of what staff should be doing and the vision and the goals and the values and job descriptions and like proper HR, like that's what was preventing the organization from actually getting to where it needed to be. And just by simply providing some very basic HR tools and onboarding people in the right way and making sure that everybody understood what position they were going to play on the team, that changed a lot. People will either gravitate towards organization and clarity, or things just kind of start melting and falling apart.
And Arturo, what I take from what you just said is all around one word: ownership, or a lack thereof. That I think when there's a lack of awareness on company culture, there's a lack of clarity. And the reason there's a lack of clarity is because there's a lack of ownership. And it's very easy for us to see what executive titles are, but now we're starting to see things like chief culture officers or things that are extremely important in this. And I know in my organizations and everybody that I work with, one of the things that is paramount for me in creating a positive company culture is I give everyone who works with me access to the same personal growth and development programs that I've created that my coaching clients go through, all around designing your best self, creating positive habits, routines, mindsets, ways of being to help you become and create the ideal version of yourself. And I always go back through my entire journey when I was in corporate America, then to my entrepreneurial journey. And a lot of these things that we talk about were never part of my life or my awareness. Self-awareness was a word I never heard until I was 32 years old, which blows my mind. So for me, as a coach and a creator and a leader now, it is so important for me to set a positive culture by investing in my team members, by getting them the education and the perspectives, but also being there for them. So the way that I tactically do this to make this even so simple is I say, listen, every single day, just watch one video from the digital platform. And then what I would love for you to do in Slack is just write a little message saying, what is the thing that you learned, or what was the perspective, or what was the light bulb moment, or what was the action item for you in this? Because in the name of personal growth, I legitimately care for these people. I want not only a positive culture, but I want their lives to improve. So what are we doing as leaders or company owners or entrepreneurs to invest in our team, and what do those structures and systems and processes look like? And for me, it was so logical. System scale. So I just looked at the systems that I've used and created to design myself into the best version of myself. And then I implemented those with my team. And as no surprise, the feedback that I get is, oh my God, you're changing my life, because we're creating things and giving them things that they've never experienced in their life before.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think coaching and education, I think is part of. People want to go to organizations where they're going to learn. There's a number of conversations that I've been in, recently, like in the last week, where I'm out recruiting for a new business that we're creating, and in order to get top talent, like one of the conversations that always comes up is, are you going to be the one working with me and developing me, and that question of being able to grow is a real topic right now. Like, people they don't want lateral moves. They want to actually move in a very aggressive forward direction. And so I think that education piece is critical to having a positive, work environment or positive company culture. I think the other thing too that people don't really talk about much is making sure that there's discipline, structure, and that accountability exists. company morale tends to go down very quickly if people feel like there's no accountability or there's no discipline, right? So Johnny or Susie gets to do this and nobody says anything to them. So why are they going to stop? They're going to keep doing X, Y, and Z. And so I've seen, company culture move in a bad direction quickly when people feel like there is no accountability and there's no discipline.
Yeah, happiness is a function of expectations, and our ability to create structures and systems and processes is not micromanaging. It's actually freedom. That when you understand the expectations of what to do, you have the ability to hit the mark and create that positivity. Because I completely hear what you're saying, Arturo, because it is oftentimes a lack of communication, a lack of clarity, a lack of having everybody rowing together in the same boat. Or in my world this year, harmony is one of my words of the year. And I want this flowing through everything in me as well as with my team. And when I want to create something, the first thing I say is, what is my system and process for creating harmony in my life and then harmony in my team?
100%. There's another kind of piece to this entire thing is that I think the public acknowledgement of success is, and I think we might have touched on that, earlier on this one or one of our other podcasts, but I think that's important. I mean, there's obvious times where it's evident that we're doing well. Things have, we've created success, or that a specific individual on the team was a critical part of that specific success. So rather than just kind of allowing it to pass, I think there's always opportunities to create some additional positivity in the organization by allowing people to feel that acknowledgement. I think that appreciation is a very powerful thing.
And Arturo, to yes and that for you, for positivity, is that a daily drip via email of an inspirational quote, or is this an energetic thing of feeling and experiencing you or other members on the team? Or I'm curious from your perspective, from a strategies and tactics, that sometimes it can seem like, oh, we're just trying to check the box of positivity by giving a motivational quote, or is it actually having impact, or what are you doing or what can be done for this positivity?
Yeah, I mean, I think, listen, if it's coming from a place of sincerity, I think that there's always going to be value in it. I think if you're super obsessed with giving the kindergarten gold stars out, then that's the wrong approach. For me, it's that drip that you're talking about. I think leaders in general, if they're great for their organizations, have to be optimistic, energetic, positive people. I think it's hard to follow somebody who's the alternate of that. And that's just a fact. So I think that there's a responsibility from leaders and managers and coaches to be able to bring that energy on a daily basis. So yeah, there's a physical contribution of energy that I think is important, even if it's remote. I mean, I think you have to show up on the video or on the call with some passion and something that can drive the energy of the conversation. I also think that there's a component of sensing, not only delivering, but you have to be the sensor of energy depletion. If you know that there's somebody over in the corner that's not having a great day, and you have time to remedy that, or you have time to check in, then do it. Give that person a little bit of time and energy to know that they're valued, know that they care, or to give them some type of guidance in some type of way. So for me, it's giving, and it's also trying to understand where that give should go. Move it around, so to speak.
100%. And I'm with you on the acknowledgement. And Cultivating energy is a superpower of mine. And one of the quotes I love is, you cannot give to others that which you're not experiencing yourself. So you want to create a positive company culture? Cool. Start using your positive energy. Show some of that love on your team. Recognize them. Do that publicly. And then be wise on where you're spreading it, how you're spreading it, and design that intentionally. So Arturo, now time for the action item or a takeaway. And I'm actually going to start with this, that if you're looking to promote positive company culture, if you're looking to design growth and mindset in lifestyle design, in creating positive habits and routines in what you're doing, reach out to me, Rob at robcressy.com. This is something that I specialize in. I've got programs. I do this for teams. I do this for individuals. I do this for leaders and executives. This is my wheelhouse of what I do as a coach and a creator. So I would love to help any way that I can. Arturo, what about you? What is your action item or takeaway?
Yeah, I would tell people that if it's a younger organization or even an organization that's at a nice size, I would say that if you're feeling that there's issues within the look at your managers across the board. I think that's critical. You have to look at the people that are responsible for managing your teams on a regular basis. As far as an actionable item, I would look at the basics though. To me, all of this starts with making sure that you have a buttoned up HR process and that you have good, actionable company values and mission. And so I think a quick little audit of that is a great start, because it doesn't have to be very complicated. It actually can be built into some process.
And I would love to hear from you. What are you or your team doing to promote positive culture? Arturo, where can everybody connect with you?
It's going to be LinkedIn, Arturo Gomez.
And on my end, you can hit me up on Instagram or LinkedIn at Rob Cressy. And make sure, if you enjoy one of these episodes, share this with another leader that can help them on their journey.